Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to discuss the chapter 8 Africa for class 7th. In this chapter, we will discuss about Africa continent, their major countries, political division and physical divisions both. So one by one, I will discuss this chapter according to the content. So firstly, I will start with the Africa continent. Africa is the second largest continent after Asia, and it contains almost about 54 independent countries. It has people from different cultures who have distinctive language, custom, belief, traditional and religious ideas also. They are dominated in the north by the vast Sahara Desert, and it has the Great Rift Valley in the east side, and in the belt of rainforest along with the equator and vast grassland for grazing animals. In the southward and eastern part of Africa, the savanna part, a form of dry plain. Savanna, the dry plain area in which the tribal peoples are living, dotted with trees and bushes. Until the final decades of the 19th century, most of the world has been under European control for quite some time, and Africa was still a mystery to them, and so that's why it is also considered as the dark continent. In the previous time, when Africa was under the dominance of Britishers, at that time we are considering Africa as a dark continent because it was still mystery at that time. Now, the reasons for the explorer not being able to access the continent, there are several reasons for that. Three basic reasons. The first one is hot and humid climate of Africa. Second reason is the vast Sahara Desert that is not explorable. Then the dense equatorial forest in the west dissuaded people from entering the Africa continent. Now, the basic details of Africa. I will tell you the political division, the basic details of Africa. There are 54 countries in Africa continent. Sahara Desert, equatorial forest and hot and humid climate is there. These are the three basic characteristics of Africa continent. Then North and South Atlantic Ocean and Indian Ocean. These are the three main basic oceans which are covering Africa continent from east, west and north side. And then 10% of world's population lives in Africa continent only. Then if we will talk about the location part, the water bodies which are connecting it will creating the narrow stretch of two water bodies, that means the strait and isthmus. What is a strait and isthmus? Strait is a narrow stretch of water bodies which are joining two water bodies and separating two land masses, that is the strait. And isthmus which is separating water bodies and connecting land parts, that is isthmus. The difference between strait and isthmus is the strait lies between the two land masses and connect two water bodies of water, and isthmus lies between two bodies of water and connects two larger land masses. Now the next thing is the land part of Africa. The land part or the physical division of Africa continent into these five parts. First one, the mountain, plateaus, Great Rift Valley, Sahara Desert and rivers. Firstly, the highest mountain peak of Africa is Mount Kilimanjaro, and plateau, that is a low central plateau which is lying in the central area of Africa continent. So firstly, the entire landmass of Africa is made up of large plateaus, and within this large plateau there are a number of smaller plateaus too with different elevation. They are having different heights from small to the larger part. These plateaus mostly have steep sides and uneven surfaces, and in the east and south the plateau is higher, and the steep southern edge of the plateau has resulted in the mountain range, that is Drakensberg, and the most extensive mountain range in Africa are the Ethiopian highlands in the northeast part. Then the lowland central plateau, that is known for its most predominant desert of Africa, the Sahara Desert, the extending from Atlantic coast in the west side to the Nile Valley in the east, and the low central plateau also had the Tibistri mountain and the Agar plateau in the east side. Now the coastal plains. Next thing, in the physical part, coastal plains. Coastal plains in Africa are located on the edges of the plateau. At the edges part you will get the plain surface area, but on some quiet places. These strips of plains are rather narrow in areas as the plateaus drop down abruptly here. Then the Great Rift Valley, which extends from 5,950 km across the African continent from the Dead Sea in the southwest Asia to the southwest Africa side. Then these are long narrow valleys with steep walls. They are having steep walls so that the water can flow easily. Then they are formed when a portion of the land subsides between two lines of weaknesses that are called faults, and because of the faults rock beds are flourished over the valleys area. Now the next thing is desert. I already told you the Sahara Desert. Sahara Desert, which is the world's largest desert in the world. So Africa contains the major part of Africa is covered with the Sahara Desert. A desert is a region which is extremely dry and supports a very small amount of vegetation. If we will talk about desert part only, it has very less vegetation, and Sahara Desert have a vast area that is not explorable, and because of that people are living away from that area. The area which is near to the vegetation part, in those areas tribes are living, like Kalahari, Namibi, all those. Then the next is the river basins. There are three main rivers which are flowing in Africa continent: River Zaire, River Nile, and River Congo. River Nile and Zaire, they are creating the physical regions of Africa continent, and River Nile almost about 6,670 km long. That is it flowing from the Lake Victoria to Lake Albert and emerging from there to Albert Nile and goes to form White Nile. It meets Blue Nile from Lake Tana at the Ethiopia plateau, and the banks of River Nile are fertile farmlands, while to the north are the deserts. It forms a number of swamps on its way, and to the south it is the largest. It is creating largest swamp in the world, that is called Sud. And Congo and Zaire basins are the largest watershed in Africa. They are creating inland drainage system in Africa continent. Next is the climate point. Climate of Africa, that is considered as the tropical zone. Africa lies in the tropical zone, so that's why it is having tropical climate. Its highest temperature, which was recorded as 58 degrees Celsius at Al Aziza in Libya. It is the highest temperature ever recorded, and but Africa is not very hot everywhere. The highlands and mountains are cooler. There is large difference in climate as we move from region to region. So the factors which are affecting climate of Africa are latitude, ocean currents, prevailing winds, and the fourth part, elevation or height. In latitude part, the most of the continent extends from latitude 35 degrees south to 37 degrees north, and which lies within the tropics. So that's why it is the bisection of the continent into two halves due to the equator side, and due to that it has hot and humid climate all over the year. So ocean currents. The coastal regions along Africa have a more mild temperature than the interior because they are cooled by the offshore breezes and cooler warm ocean currents that come during different times of the year. Next is prevailing wind pattern. The wind patterns affect the tropical dry climate of Western Africa, and hot air streams come in from Sahara and dries up the moisture left by the heavy summer rain. Next, elevation. In higher elevation, snow is not uncommon, and as elevation above sea level increases, the temperature also decreases. Now, the races and tribes. The people of African continent comes from diverse ethnic groups which have their own distinct language, tradition, art and craft, history, way of life and religion. All over the African continent we are getting tribes or traditional groups, ethnic groups. Due to these ethnic groups, there is a diversity in their culture, tradition. There are more than 50 countries in Africa, and some of these have 20 or more different ethnic groups living within their boundaries. 20 or more than 20 ethnic groups living on their boundaries of these 50 countries. And most of the people are of Africa origin, but some have been affected by the migration of Arab people in the northern Africa and European colonists. Some important ethnic groups are Bantu people, Pygmies, Bushmen, those are living in Kalahari Desert, Maasai people, those who are living in East Africa in southern Kenya and northern Tanzania, Karal, then Tutsi people, they are living in Rwanda, Burundi and the eastern part of Democratic Republic of Congo. Next is the distribution of population. If we will discuss about the population part, the density of population in Africa is 32% per square kilometer. If we will consider this density with India, in India we are getting 382 people per square kilometer, but in Africa continent only 32 persons are living in per kilometer area. So there is a vast difference between the population. Next is the languages and religions. Due to the diversity in language, because the ethnic groups are living, so there is a diversity in language and their tradition too. In the southern and eastern parts, people speak various forms of Bantu language, and Swahili and Zulu are the Bantu languages. Bantu languages are of two types, Swahili and Zulu. So then next is the religion difference. The main basic religions of Africa continent are Christianity and Islam. These are the two basic religions in Africa continent due to the dominance of the Britishers. Muslims, while in the south they are mostly Christians, and there are also a variety of traditional religions based on animism, and they involve the worship of nature, ancestors and spirits. Next is the natural vegetation or the natural resources. Natural resources contain forest, the natural vegetation, equatorial forest, desert vegetation, savanna grasslands, Mediterranean forest, temperate grasslands, the marine vegetation, mountain forest, wildlife, soil. All these things are included in the part of the characteristics of the natural resources. These are the basic natural resources which are using by the people of Africa continent. You have to go through it, and if you will get any problem you can ask me. Then next is the cocoa cultivation in Ghana. Ghana is the capital of Africa continent, West African country, and it is formerly known as the Gold Coast when it was under British rule, and it gained freedom in 1957 and become a leader in the Africa continent struggle for national liberation. And people of Ghana belong to 100 different ethnic groups and live with each other in peace. Ghana is the largest city in Ghana is Accra, and it serves as the capital city of Ghana. English is the official language there, and cocoa is the chief agricultural export of Ghana and accounts for about 11% of world's total cocoa production. Total cocoa production of 11% is produced from Ghana, Accra area. The cocoa triangle of Ghana is known for the basic area for the cocoa cultivation. Now the growing condition they have discussed here, the temperature 24 degree to 28 degree Celsius is required for the production of for the production of cocoa. The region receive 125 to 150 centimeter rainfall in a year, and it has no dry season in between. The deep, well drained humus which iron potassium containing soil in the lowland makes it fit for the cultivating cocoa trees. And cheap manual labor is also provided in this area. Then planting of cocoa tree, how they are planting it? For the suitable species, they are providing it for the season which is providing shade, proper temperature, proper rainfall. In that time they are growing the cocoa trees in nurseries, and afterward they are doing it with the seedling process, proceeding with seedling process. When it comes into the 5 centimeter height, they are transporting into the distance of about 1.5 meter or the 4.5 meter. Then they are producing, when the cocoa tree is about tall 6 meter height, after that they are removing their leaves, and after the fruits are coming, they are becoming reddish and brown, then they are plucking it and roasting it in the farms. Then cocoa harvesting. Cocoa pods are harvested in 2 seasons, and one from October to March and another one is May to August. A short time from the harvest, that is the outer peel of the pod is split open with the help of a long broad knife called a machete, and this is done with the great skill to avoid any damage to the bean inside. They are not giving any kind of harm to the bean which are inside the cocoa pod, because they are using those beans to produce cocoa to make cocoa powder, and they are just removing the shell of the cocoa fruit. Then cocoa is the powder from the dried cocoa beans, and the cocoa butter is taken out from the cocoa beans, and remaining cocoa bean is ground to make cocoa. This is just the simple process for cocoa harvesting which has been done in the Ghana area of Africa continent. By this our chapter is over. If you will get any query, you can ask me your question through comment. Thank you.